ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
We're ready to go for this Wednesday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Coming up this hour, we're going to hear from the longtime voice of the Old Dominion Monarchs, Ted Alexander. We get a preview of the matchup between the Herd and the Monarchs. That's coming up later on this hour. And I hope to be joined by, no guarantees, because there's a lot going on right now at Marshall. Soccer tickets are on sale. First round will be determining the opponent for the Thundering Herd. So the opening round game, it'll be possibly Furman. I'd love to see Furman come back to Huntington. And we're going to have, of course, a conversation with Ryan Crisp a little bit later on. How you can get your tickets, what you can expect for the Herd in the NCAA tournament. So all that's coming up. And, of course, we got your text line opened up, ready to go. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That is our number to be a part of the show this day and every day right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So yesterday was the big news. We got the high school football playoffs resolved, and I know a lot of people aren't happy, and this was never going to end with everyone being happy about it. I've seen a lot of posts on social media, fans, parents, a lot of those, upset where the teams, their team, ended up in the bracket. And so this isn't going to go down well for a lot of people, but we do know now where the local teams will be. We start with Huntington High playing host to University. And that's going to be at Saturday, 1 o'clock airtime right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So Christian Palmer will have the call of that one. So the Highlanders playing host to University. Kickoff is set for 1:30 p.m. The good news is the Herd's on the road, both basketball and football. So wherever you're at, if you're going to the Huntington game, you can listen along on your radio, or you can take your radio and listen to the Herd game. Herd taking on Purdue this weekend, as well as the Herd in Old Dominion. So you're covered either way. You can listen to the Highlander broadcast. You can listen to the Herd. We've got you covered. Cabell Midland's also playing on Saturday, 1:30 kick there, and that's going to be on 97.9 The River. Same story there. Take your radio with you. Now, we do have some normal times here. I'm surprised a lot of teams actually opted for the Friday game. Hurricane will play host to George Washington. You know, no real travel considerations there. That's coming up Friday at 7. And then in AAA, East Fairmont is at Spring Valley. That's going to be Friday, 7 o'clock on 92.7 and 98.5 The Planet. And then in 2A or AA, Wayne will be at Scott on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. And then in Single A, Tulsa at Tug Valley. That is set for Saturday at 1:30. So a lot of Saturday games for our area teams. East Fairmont and Spring Valley and Hurricane and George Washington. Those are the only two area games that will be played on Friday night. So that means you've got an opportunity. You could take in a different game. Ashland will be in action on Friday. If you're looking for a game to watch on a Friday night, you could listen to that. Or it's going to be a big matchup in Ohio. You've got Wheelersburg and Ironton going to be playing at South Point, neutral site. I'm glad it's there. I'm glad it's there because, honestly, these two teams deserve I hope, a huge crowd, because that's going to be a heck of a game. Absolutely going to be a heck of a game. So, you know, if you're looking for a game on Friday night, I'm saying go to this one. That's going to be your game on Friday night. It's right there. It's It's out South Point. And it's going to be, I think, two tremendous teams going at each other. So I'm looking forward to that one. So that's what we've got on the high school football schedule this weekend. Last night, Kentucky beat Lipscomb 97-68. And Ohio State beat Evansville 80-30. West Virginia women, 13th ranked in the country now, beat Bowling Green 78-47. Now tonight, the men, the Mountaineers, take on Iona at 7. Morehead State will play host to Austin Peay, and that's also at 7 o'clock. And there's Maction tonight. Ohio's at Toledo. That's coming up tonight, 7 o'clock. So we've got a little Maction for you as well. So the schedule isn't so barren on this Wednesday. I'm here for Maction. At the same time, I'm kind of glad that we're not having Wednesday night herd football. Maction is great. It fits perfect. I'm glad we're not having Marshall play on a Wednesday. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Maybe we should try it one time. All right, let's go to the text line before we hit the break. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, Paul, I miss Chuck Landon's columns. Is he putting anything on other sites than the Herald-Dispatch? No, he's still with the Herald-Dispatch as far as I understand. I'm sure there's going to be more about that here in the near future. Saw him a couple weeks ago. He was at the Marshall game, so it was good to see him. Chuck liked to give me grief all the time, and so I like to give Chuck grief back. It was good to see him. You know, I tried to tee him up a couple of times. You know, he knew what I was doing. I was just trying to tee him up. Hey, Chuck, what do you think about the music on the scoreboard? What do you think about that? Hey, Chuck, just things. Just throw them out. I'm not going to give you everything, but, you know, the music on the scoreboard was easy. I'm not saying Chuck's an old guy, but he's not listening to what the kids listen to today. So, yeah, I miss Chuck as well. Always good to see him. So, you know, we need to get him on the show sometime here in the near future. So we'll work on that. So you can join as well. Text line's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We had a text come in yesterday. I didn't get to it because it was right before we got off the air. We were talking about the baseball team going to Hawaii. And Texter said, because I want to go to Hawaii. Don't you? Let's all go to Hawaii. Texter says, I need to run that by Steve Cotton. Need coverage for baseball while in Hawaii. And we can take you too. Okay, I'm there. Let's go. Let's do those. Let's do those games from Hawaii. Let's make that happen. Let's get on the plane and let's just go to the paradise that is Hawaii for baseball. I bet that'd be spectacular. I guess they don't have any problem. Hey, you wanna bring your baseball team out to Hawaii? Yeah, perfect. Let's do it. Ted Alexander, longtime voice, Old Dominion. He joins us on the other side of the break. We talk about the game coming up between Marshall and Old Dominion when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Jeff Smith, 304-781-1234. And in Wayne, Vicki Tabor, 304-272-5149.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
97.9 The River is getting ready to celebrate the holiday season with your favorite Christmas music. Starting the day after Thanksgiving, tune in to The River for a festive mix of classic Christmas tunes. From then through Christmas Day, The River will provide the soundtrack to your holiday season. Santa and his elves tune in to The River online at 979theriver.com, and you can too. Christmas on The River is presented by Schmidt's Family Restaurant Group, Huntington Mall, Clark's Pump and Shop, and the Woodlands Retirement Community.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
We continue on with this Wednesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. It is always a pleasure to welcome back to the program the longtime voice of Old Dominion football and basketball, Ted Alexander. And Ted, I'm looking forward to this one. It's always fun when Marshall and Old Dominion get together. The two coaches seem to have it's like a comedy movie. It's like that buddy relationship the two coaches have with Ricky Ronnie and Charles Huff. This should be a fun one, I hope.
Well, let's keep this in mind, Herd fans. I mean, one of the reasons it's fun for you is you're 8-1 against Old Dominion.
I wasn't bringing that up.
But we're going to try and ruin the party a little bit on Saturday.
I mean, yeah, we expect that, but I wasn't bringing that up, Ted. You're my guest. I wasn't bringing that up.
Hey, full transparency here in Monarch Nation, no doubt about it. Hey, it's a great opportunity. I love the series with Marshall. I love Thundering Herd fans. I love going to Huntington and the Joan on game days. And the one time we did happen to best Marshall was the game in 2016 when we clinched our first FBS Bowl bid. And that was a special day, and we tasted from that victory cup that day and realized how sweet it was. Just haven't been able to get it done since against the Herd.
This game has a lot of importance for both teams. Marshall's trying to clinch that East Division title. Old Dominion's trying to get to bowl eligibility. You got to win out to do so. So this game, the most important game on the schedule, because without that, you're not going to have that shot truly at bowl eligibility. So Coach Huff kind of emphasized that earlier in the week. It's senior day. It's going to be at night, looking for bowl eligibility. Old Dominion's going to probably throw everything possible at the Herd.
No doubt about it. And, of course, Marshall has everything to play for as well with the East Division. Theirs for the taking here. It should be interesting because in the past couple of years, the Monarchs have had to be in win-out situations to get to a bowl, and that's what they had to do last year, and they were able to accomplish that mission. Certainly a tall task against the Herd on Saturday.
Coaches also, you know how coaches are. They talk everybody up, but this might be one of the best 4-6 teams in the country. Do you buy into that? You've seen this team enough. Do you feel that way?
At times they look like one of the best 4-6 teams in the country. Other times they look like a team that is lucky to be 4-6. Quite honestly, 7 out of the 10 games have been one-score games, 8 points or less. They've had opportunities. They had an opportunity to win opening week at South Carolina, but they turned it over twice inside the red zone, and that's when the Gamecocks scored their 2 touchdowns off those ensuing drives. And look what Carolina's doing now. Lost by 6 to East Carolina. That 0-3 start certainly put the team in a bit of a hole. They've shown that they can play with the best of them, and they've shown that they can bumble at the most inopportune times.
Is it just bad luck? What would you put your finger on if you could say if it was only for this team, would be a lot better?
I think when you start getting into those situations, you say, all right, in one-score games, the Monarchs are blank and blank. Well, they could also be, the opposite end. Those one-score games could have gone the other way as well. And so it's just consistency. They haven't been playing very well consistently for 60 minutes. They'd have opportunities. They look really good at times. The effort's always there. It's just whether they can execute at crunch time. Against JMU this past week, had a great opportunity to come back from 18-7 down to beat the Dukes and win that spoil rivalry game. But they were 1 for 11 on third down, and that's not not going to get it done. They jumped off sides on 3 separate occasions to hand the Dukes a first down, and you can't do that in a tight ball game. And it's a 3-point game, and you think about those kinds of mistakes where you want to give yourself the best possibility at winning. And when you make those kind of mistakes, especially when you make those kind of mistakes, it can be very costly. And it was against the Dukes. And you look up and see against App State, you lose 28-20 down in Boone. Well, you turn the ball over 4 times. And a game that's that tight, and you lose the turnover battle by 3, you're asking for trouble. And on a couple of occasions this year, the Monarchs have gotten it.
Longtime voice of Old Dominion, Ted Alexander, is with us. So what's Coach saying about this year's edition of the Thundering Herd? How's he selling what's coming in to everyone who will listen?
I think it's another solid Herd team. They're good on both sides of the ball. They don't beat themselves a lot. They're going to be gritty. They're going to be battling. They're going to be physical. And you better have your best game ready for them. And it's, I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Paul, but it seems like the Herd have almost snuck up on people a little bit this year. Not the best start, so sort of you're off the radar a little bit, and that's next thing you know, you look up and you're 5-1 and sitting on top of the East with an opportunity to control your own destiny and get it done.
I think the quarterback situation early caused a lot of grief for fans and probably for this team. And to be quite candid, I thought after that Virginia Tech game, which I thought was a winnable game, you have Ohio State. Okay, this team should be good. You lose to Georgia Southern in the manner you did, and like this team, it's over. Where are the teams going to find the wins? And then I like that. You're right. I think they started to sneak up on people, and you started to see really with Braylon Braxton emerging as the quarterback, this team find its way, find its confidence, and I feel comfortable in the next couple of weeks that they might have a legitimate shot at winning that East Division.
Well, the thing is, after that Georgia Southern game, you wouldn't have been surprised if a bunch of the team members just jumped in the Ohio. Come on. But they didn't. They gathered themselves. They got it back together. They took a couple of deep breaths and found themselves, and are now playing good enough football to be sitting on top of the division with your own destiny in your own hands. So way to go, just hanging in there after a crushing defeat where everything went south in a very, very short amount of time. But you hung in there and you battled back, and that's good coaching. That's good kids on the team, a good mental attitude and understanding that you got to play the next play.
Ted Alexander is with us. He's a longtime voice of Old Dominion. So you cover this team, from a lot of angles. So you see the relationship between Charles Huff and Ricky Ronnie. What do you make of that? Because it's probably the best part of tuning in every week to the coach's call. You have Ricky Ronnie first, then Coach Huff. Coach has always got to make a jokey joke about Ricky. These two guys really they're big fans of each other except on game day.
Oh, no doubt about it, and I'm sure there are many ways where they can't really let loose with one another, especially in public, because they're head coaches of different institutions now, but they go a long way. They understand the trials and tribulations of their chosen profession and their positions, and they also realize the Sun Belt Conference is just brutal week in and week out, and you can be a hero one day and a goat the next, and they understand that, but they know each other from long before they were in the Sun Belt Conference and have built the relationship from the ground up and have that solid relationship going, and you can understand the kind of feel it. During the off season, they get together and have some fun talking about the old war stories, but the new trials and tribulations of being a head football coach in the Sun Belt Conference in 2024, which is a daunting task.
I imagine this is probably one of the harder games to go in to coach against someone you know so well. You have an idea of what you can expect, and usually you're right on when it comes to games like this. They have such a close history and background together. So it's going to come down to talent, I'm sure. And what have we seen from Old Dominion this year when there have been those flashes of brilliance? I guess we start with the quarterback, Colton Joseph. What do we think of him at this point?
We see that he's a wonderful talent. He came in, and the interesting thing about Colton, he bounced back. He got the start against Virginia Tech and made an early mistake. He wasn't careful with the football and got yanked from that game and didn't come back in. But he was available and ready to go and came in against Bowling Green and has won the job. And the redshirt freshman from California has really shown the ability to throw on the move and to run the football. He's got 9 TDs running and 10 passing thus far this season. When the Monarchs are playing well like they did against Georgia Southern, I mean, that game is something they'll be thinking about for a long, long time, a 30-point first half. They are playing quickly. They're getting good work from the offensive line to open it up for Aaron Young and Joseph in the running game, and they're giving the quarterback time to throw to Isaiah Page and Deontay Vines and Pat Conroy in the passing game.
Defensively, Marshall has been a thorn in a lot of defensive side. Now we've kind of settled on a quarterback, so you really don't. You still have to game plan, obviously, but Braylon Braxton's going to lead the way. What does this defense need to do to try to be successful against the Herd on Saturday?
Get off the field on third down. Simple as that. They give up 43% opponent conversions on third down. That's just not good enough. And they've been a decent team at forcing turnovers. You've got to get off the field on third down. If you can do that, you give your offense more time, you give the defense a little bit more rest, and you give yourself a shot to knock off a Herd team playing for everything.
My guest is Ted Alexander, the longtime voice of Old Dominion, and of course one of those teams that came over to the Sun Belt with Marshall. So this has been a fun journey so far with some of the best matchups, I think, still to come between these two teams. But looking at Old Dominion now at this point in the Sun Belt, since I've got you here, how would you evaluate this point in time, Old Dominion in the Sun Belt, basketball included? Let's throw that in there.
Well, love it, first of all. I mean, love having some geographic rivals. I'm glad we don't have to go to the Mountain Time Zone for a conference game. I love the idea of playing in such a really good football league where you better have it all together each and every week because there are no weeks off in the Sun Belt. It's a funky time, Paul. With the NIL and the transfer portal, and players can leave after a half an hour just because they might have gotten their foot stepped on in the wrong way. It's the teams and the institutions that can deal with this best. They're going to have the most success, and the Monarchs, like just about everybody, are still figuring it out. And it's going to be a new recipe each and every year. Monarchs had over 50 new players this year for the second year in a row. I mean, it's difficult building a program. You've got to build teams, and the institutions that can do that the best are they going to have the most success.
How's Old Dominion building that infrastructure out to try to compete and retain players, NIL included? Yeah, I know Marshall's got the Thunder Trust, and there are other institutions that are looking at similar models. How's Old Dominion approaching this and trying to tackle this beast?
Not knowing from the inside, to be quite candid with you, Paul, I can't really speak for the operation. They've got the Pride of ODU, which is the NIL arm, and trying to raise money there. But I know one of the things across the country, people are still trying to get their potential clients, if you will, to understand that, we're paying players now, okay? We're paying players now, and you've got to get over that hump because that's the reality here in 2024. Whether you agree with it, disagree with it, or not, it's the reality of things. And those that can best navigate these new choppy waters are going to have the success.
Now, Ted, I know you're not hitting the transfer portal, but I hope you get a good NIL deal.
The hand's always out, believe me.
I mean, we're broadcasters. Of course we're looking for NIL deals. Ted Alexander
Exactly.
is with us. He is the longtime voice of Old Dominion. How long has it been now, Ted? It's been a while.
Since what?
Since you began as the voice of Old Dominion. How long has it been?
Oh, I thought you said since Old Dominion's beaten Marshall in football.
Oh, no, I know that. I know that date. That's 2016 for those inquiring.
I started with basketball in 2007, and when football came along in 2009, I said, let's figure out a way to become the voice of basketball and football, and I was able to do that. I gave him an old choppy cassette tape. I'd never done a football game before, and went out and did a Norfolk State game in the rain and got the tape and got the gig, and here we are.
I love that. A choppy tape is classic. I love that. I don't think kids know what those are today.
No, they have no idea what those are today. And boy, did we have to walk uphill in the snow to school each and every day.
It's crazy, isn't it? Ted Alexander is with us. Does a fantastic job as the voice of Old Dominion. Look forward to it every time you're in Huntington. This should be a fun one on Saturday. I hope that we get a really close game. For Marshall's sake, I hope the Herd wins. For your sake, I hope that Old Dominion wins and gets bowl eligibility. That way, I'm covering all my bases here, Ted. But this should be a fun one. I'm always looking forward to any time Old Dominion and Marshall get together.
No doubt about it. No matter what the sport, et cetera, it's always good to be in the same league and have games that mean things and know that the result is meaningful as well. And you always know you're going to get a good, solid battle from the Herd, and we hope the Monarchs can provide that on Saturday. Yeah,
I was pulling for you against James Madison, and of course you did get the win over Georgia Southern. So again, thank you for that from Herd fans everywhere.
Not a problem. Now, if you'd like to return the favor in kind on Saturday, I mean, I'm certainly open to that.
We'll see. There's an East Division thing that Marshall's still trying to win first. Anything after that, though, yeah. I'm sure it'll be good.
We'll see. That's what my mother said when I knew there was no chance of getting what I'd asked for. We'll see.
We'll see. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Ted, thanks for doing this as always.
Good to talk to you, Paul. Thanks.
Ted Alexander, longtime voice of Old Dominion football and basketball. Quick timeout. We're going to hear from Ryan Crisp, Marshall playing soccer on Sunday. We'll tell you the ticket situation when we continue on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This holiday season, Thoroughbred Express is on a mission to give back. Through November 30th, bring new unwrapped toys or new gently used coats to any Thoroughbred Express car wash location. Where each item donated, Thoroughbred Express Car Wash will contribute $5 to One Simple Wish, a nonprofit dedicated to fulfilling wishes and providing essential support to those in foster care. Help Thoroughbred Express spread the joy and warmth this season. Let's make this holiday season brighter together. Online at thoroughbredexpress.com. Hey, Tri-State, there is a place to shop at. The Huntington's Peddlers Mall is now open in the historic Central City District in Huntington. Over 200 vendors specializing in vintage antiques, home decor, furniture, collectibles, new mattresses, and everything in between. Peddlers Mall, located 800 14th Street West in Huntington. It's the place to go. Open 7 days a week. Visit anytime. Check out the website, peddlersmall.com, for more information. It's the Tri-State place to shop, Huntington's Peddlers Mall.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Hi, I'm Nori, and over the years, my mother and I have opened our homes to those who need it most, and it's been so rewarding. I bet you didn't know that some adults who have unfortunately been mistreated need a place to call home in West Virginia. It happens more than you know. They may have some physical or mental limitations, and they need your help. Everyone deserves a place to call their own. I can tell you from my experience, it's worth it.
If you have an open heart and want to open your home, Adult Family Care may be the right fit for you. Call the Department of Human Services and ask to speak to an Adult Family Care Home Finder at 304-269-6820. Sponsored by the West Virginia Department of Human Services, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station. This project is supported by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, of the United States, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $1,227,345, with 100% funded by ACL HHS. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of nor an endorsement by ACL HHS or the U.S. government.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Wednesday edition of the program. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. It's always a pleasure to welcome back to the program. He is the Associate Athletics Director for Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. Ryan Crisp is now on the line with us. Thank you, sir, for being here today. I know you've been very busy because we have a soccer match to get ready for on Sunday in the NCAA tournament. And I'm sure there's a host of other things you want to talk about as well, but let's start there. Tickets went on sale not that long ago, so fans have got an opportunity to see NCAA soccer on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously exciting that our men's soccer team's back in the NCAA tournament. Kind of ho-ho-hum at this point, expected for them to be there and to be a higher seed in this tournament. So we're excited to be able to host another game at Hoops Family Field. Season ticket holders have the opportunity to reserve their seats for a couple of days now. And after we got through that process, we did go on sale today at 3 p.m. and had a really, really good push early. But there's still tickets available in all levels, so reserved, general admission, or standing room. Tickets available at all three levels. But, it looks like the weather is going to improve for us by Sunday. It's going to get cold here, but the weather's going to be good for Sunday. 2 p.m. kick, which is nice right in the middle of the day, so it should be warmer outside for everyone. And, our first step to trying to get a second star on top of our logo there.
Since this is an NCAA game, is there anything that changes or fans need to know compared to a regular season game?
Yeah, nothing that I think the fans would notice too heavily. I think the big thing is obviously we do have to keep it neutral. So in terms of things we do on the video board or the way that our PA announcer may announce certain things, if a goal is scored, we have to play the goal scoring song or the fight song or whatever they choose for the other team. And so it is hosted at our venue, and we will get a home field advantage from our fans and the noise they make and the atmosphere that's there. But from a game presentation standpoint, from what we do on the back end, behind the scenes kind of stuff, we have to keep it neutral for what we do. So nothing that I don't think is out of the ordinary. It doesn't change parking. It doesn't change how you get in. Doesn't change your tickets. Everything's bought through Marshall, so it'll still be in your normal Herd Zone account through your app or your email, however you manage your tickets. All that's still the same. Just the actual game presentation looks a little different because it is controlled by the NCAA.
Logistic-wise, same time for everybody as far as getting in, tailgate, and all of that. Nothing's really going to change.
Yeah, for sure. No, all that will be the same. Gates still open an hour prior to kick. Still be our concessions open in their normal spots. Our bookstore will still be there. They'll be selling maybe some different items this game because they are able to sell the NCAA College Cup gear, which I know last year for the first game of the College Cup went very, very quickly, and then they had to order more to get it in for the second game. So that's always the big rush at the beginning of these first games is getting the T-shirt or the sweatshirt with the College Cup and for this year. And so the bookstore will be there selling a little different things, and then normal concessions, normal gate entry. And, thanks to our friends at Kroger, the parking will be available at Kroger as well and all that good stuff.
Ryan Crisp is with us, Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. So for fans who want to get tickets, hurry now. Go to herdzone.com because I'm sure that's going to sell out soon. We've got a great Sunday afternoon. I want to say it's a quiet week for you. We've got basketball and football on the road, but I don't think that's going to be the case for you.
Yeah, we there's a good chance that our football team may be able to host this football championship game for the Sun Belt here. So we're doing a lot of prep work with the conference this week to make sure we're ready if that's how it goes, and season ticket holders should be on the lookout for something early next week of how to reserve their tickets for that game if we are able to host that game here at the Joan. And so a lot of stuff on the horizon, and then obviously always working towards basketball and making it better, future planning. One of my favorite days of the year, Education Day for women's basketball, where we invite 3,000 to 3,500 students from around the area to come into the game. We play it at 11 a.m. It's December 13th this year against Jacksonville. And we're doing a lot of prep work for that now to try to get that out of the way before we get busy again with basketball season. So just lots of planning, lots of implementation, lots of ideas, ways that we're looking to improve our basketball experience. We worked with the bookstore earlier today, and the bookstore in the Henderson Center on E level, as you enter in through the main ramp entrance on the right, is going to be open for every single men's and women's basketball game for the rest of the year, which is really exciting. And so we're working with them on special deals and ways to promote that, and making their entrance a little more known of where they are. We also got some improvements coming to the Henderson Center. Lighting coming up the big ramp. We're going to improve the lighting there. It's a little dim and a little bare. And we got some pretty cool wraps coming to the walls in the Henderson Center to make that concourse look a little better, and wraps that are fan engaging, and I think our fans will appreciate and enjoy as they walk through the Henderson Center. Okay, so outside there's going to be improved lighting, and inside you're going to have new wraps. You're going to make the concourse seem, more inviting, friendly, fun. Okay, so those are some of the things. So we got asked this a couple weeks ago. I think John Sutherland did a fantastic job of explaining it and talking about it. But since we're talking about improvements in the facility, I just want to remind fans again that the end zone seating, the reason why it's gone is because we're getting better seating. That's correct. Yeah, on the one end there, the replacement bleachers are coming. I think they're scheduled to be here mid-December and installed in a quick manner. And so the new bleachers are coming that are just safer, look a little sharper, and definitely more convenient for our facilities crew to move in and out when needed. So new bleachers are on the way. Another small detail, but an exciting one for me, is our new basketball media tables are on the way and should be installed hopefully by the end of the month, if not early in December. So we've had the same media tables for a long time. Sometimes they decide not to work. The logos on them don't look the best. And so we're getting a much needed upgrade on the media tables, and those will be here very shortly to help promote our sponsors better and make our arena look a little better. For those who maybe always full of ideas, Ryan, and I know you engage with those people, facility upgrades take time. You just can't say, that's a great idea, we're going to do that. You've got to go sometimes a little bit here, a little bit there. What's that process like for you as you're trying to figure out what you can tackle first and what makes the most sense? Yeah, for sure. I think the main thing is, like you said, it just takes time, and it can be frustrating at times. I'll tell you, we ordered the end zone bleachers back in February. We ordered the media tables back in June. It just takes time to get everything approved, especially when you're working with state funding and all that kind of stuff. And depending on the price of the project, there's certain things you need to do for the price that it is when you're using state funds. And so a lot of things just take time, and it can be frustrating. And it seems like it takes forever to get stuff done. But I promise you, we're working hard every day to make improvements. Even the signage in the stadium and the wraps and the lighting, we've been working on that for about 6 months now. But once again, it just takes time to get that finished product and make sure it's done correctly and done the right way, and that we're abiding by the state policies and procedures. But when an idea comes about, we process it. We go through our fans first, the 5 E's, and make sure that it meets those requirements. And then, if we have a budget and we have 3 or 4 ideas, that's when we go through and, make the decision on which ones are going to impact our fans or our student athletes the most, and give us our most bang for our buck. Off the top of your head, if you can you remind fans what those 5 E's are? Yeah, for sure. So first E is eliminate friction. Second E is to entertain always. Third E is to experiment constantly. Fourth E is to engage deeply with your fan base, and the fifth E is to empower action from my side, from the personnel standpoint. So letting our people take their ideas and turn them into reality.
Ryan Crisp is with us. That was impressive that you were able to knock that out off the top of your head, right?
That's right. We talk about him every day.
He's the Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. So is there anything that maybe you can tease that's coming maybe not right away but soon? Is there anything out there that you can just give us a carrot, on a stick?
Yeah, I think there's a couple big events that are planned for the next 6 to 8 months here where we're really, in order to create more revenue, we don't necessarily want to charge our fans more money. We don't want to create, different price levels and make it inconvenient for our fans and our fans first approach. So coming up with new revenue streams through different initiatives, different ideas and things like that. So a couple big events that we're in the beginning stages of planning and hopefully can move those to reality pretty quickly. Where we'll be able to fundraise a lot of money for our student athletes and make sure we're providing them with the best experience possible. So some big events on the way that we're in the beginning stages of that will be an absolute game changer for us, and something that when you look around the group of five level at our level of college athletics is stuff that we would be very, very fortunate to put on and to host if we can make it happen.
Jelly Roll at the Cam Anderson Center. I'll just go ahead and name it right now, right? Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll and Paul Swann, you the opener?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You have to have a minimum tattoo level to be on stage with Jelly Roll. I'm not Post Malone. Not happening. But
no, we got some big stuff planned, so I'm not sure if we'll be as good as the Paul Swann show would be on there, but we'll make it where it's where our fans are going to enjoy it and bring in some new people to our venue as well.
Hey, look, we do need to talk about some new staging and lighting for me as well. So let's we'll save that for another time, I'm sure. Ryan Crisp is with us. He is the Associate Athletics Director for Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. And again, head over to Herd Zone now for tickets for soccer, and then in a potential situation when we know football possibly hosting a conference championship, what will that timeline look like? I don't want to jinx it, but at the same time, I'm trying to speak it into existence. So season ticket holders will be notified first, and then general admission. How's that going to work?
Yeah. So season ticket holders will have opportunity to reserve their current seats beginning next week at some point, hopefully early next week. And then after that, we would go on sale for the game to everyone beginning noon on that Sunday after the JMU game. So once we know we're hosting for sure, by that Sunday at noon is when we would be able to go on sale for that game.
Ryan Crisp, everyone, Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. I would say enjoy your weekend off, but I know that's not true. You'll still be crazy and all over the place, especially on Sunday. Should be fun. Let's hope the Herd gets a win across the board. The women they're on the road to speak as well, so we've got a lot going on this weekend, even though the Herd's not home except for soccer.
That's right. No, we got a business trip down to ODU and then back in the middle of the night and back right at it at soccer the next afternoon. So we're ready to go.
That did remind me, since I will let you go after this one, since the baseball schedule came out and softball schedule came out, the one thing that is on, I'm sure, everyone's mind is, how can I get a trip to Hawaii to go see the Herd play baseball?
I'm wondering the same thing. I'm asking Coach Beals. They got to need a ticket manager to go on that trip, I would assume. So, maybe I'll try to get you on that trip too, Paul. We'll do a live show from Hawaii every day. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Ryan, if you make that happen for me in my life, man, I'll just let you come on and do this show yourself. You can talk about whoever you want. You can bring on whomever you want. It'll be you can plan the show daily for me. I'll just talk about your topics, whatever that is. If you want to talk about youth sports and your children, we'll do that as well. We'll highlight their successes. Anything. If that happens, this show is yours.
That would be amazing, but I don't know. I wouldn't hold our breath if I were us. I'll ask Coach Beals, but I don't know that's going to happen.
I like the idea, though. We'll just we'll check in with. See, we need to send Mr. Cotton as well, and then we need to send a support staff for him.
I agree. He's got to call the games,
right? Call him for Hawaii. Let's do it, and then we got to have a support staff, and we'll be the support staff. Right. Let's do it. Have a great weekend, man. I know you're busy, but still have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Mr. Swann, I appreciate it.
There you have it. He is the Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement, Ryan Crisp. Final break coming up. It's The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
It's your last chance. Menards 11% rebate ends soon. Wrap up those big projects before the holidays. Weatherproof in style with new Mastercraft exterior doors. Customize your kitchen with Clearview cabinetry. It's time to pick up those new appliances or start your big garage project. Don't miss out. The 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving. Stores closed Thanksgiving Day. 11% mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check. Good on future in-store purchases. See menards.com for details.
Save big money at Menards.
When you're hiring, ZipRecruiter's technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. What if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
How was your day? What did you do in school? I'm Dale Lee, president of the West Virginia Education Association, and these two simple questions can encourage learning in your home. Showing interest and asking about the school day can help motivate your children and keep them excited about learning. So stay involved, stay curious, and ask specific questions. Student success involves the whole family.
A message from the West Virginia Education Association.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Thanks for being a part of today's edition of Your Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We've had a fun show today. I want to thank my guests, Ted Alexander, longtime voice of Old Dominion, and Ryan Crisp. A lot of good things happening at Marshall. Ryan, of course, is your go-to guy. He is the Associate Athletics Director, Annual Giving, Ticket Sales, and Fan Engagement. So appreciate both of those gentlemen for joining us today. Tomorrow, it'll be Thursday. We're getting a little closer to Marshall getting set for Old Dominion. That means tomorrow, Coach Huff Show, 7:05 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 and 93.7 The Dog. And, of course, the Herd's trying to clinch an East Division championship. You get the East Division first, and then you get the championship itself. And Coach Huff, I think that you can look at him and go, you know what? You were right. You were right, because he's been building to this point. And there were a couple of missteps along the way. I think he lose to Georgia Southern. That, I think, in a way, that kind of reinvigorated this team because they didn't want to go out like that. The game against Virginia Tech, that was one that I still feel that the Herd should have won or could have won. So honestly, right now, my only beef is with the Virginia Tech loss and how Marshall basically had, I don't want to say a breakdown. I'm trying to verbalize this here. I'm good with how the season is going so far. Marshall's in a spot where it can win the East Division. I'm good with this season right now. It's going to be so hard for this team to go undefeated year in and year out and get into that college football playoff race. Right now, Ohio State is second. Oregon, Texas, Miami, and Boise State are your top fours. And the thing here is, of course, Ohio State is second, but they're going to be in the they're going to be in the outside looking in category as far as those seeds are concerned. So I've been watching these things. When the final ones are announced, that's when we'll truly worry about everything when it comes to the playoff. And we'll have those games for you. I just want to remind you, we'll have those games for you right here on your radio dial, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I hope everyone's had a good day so far. We're going to wrap it up. Back with you tomorrow here. And, of course, we'll get you one day closer to the start of a busy weekend for Herd Athletics. Now, let me remind you how this is going to go down. We're juggling this as we speak. And we'll have a definitive game plan. Right now, this is the game plan, 99% sure. I don't think there's going to be any variation here. Marshall basketball will be on 93.7 The Dog. 11 a.m. airtime. We go on the air. We preview Marshall and Purdue. And then the game goes on network-wise, 11:30. Tip it off at a little bit after 12 o'clock. Huntington High will be on your radio dial at 1 p.m. here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And then, as soon as that game's over, we'll jump over to, hopefully, the start of football coverage, which will also be on 93.7 The Dog. So if you want to stay with everything Marshall, just keep it on 93.7 The Dog. If you want to break away, you've got football coming up on Saturday as the Herd will be on the road and the Highlanders will play host to University. That's going to be up on the hill with a 1:30 kick. I hope everyone's got that. I'll remind you again tomorrow. Once again, thanks to Ryan Crisp and Ted Alexander. Enjoyed talking to them. I'll be back with you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.